Yo, what's going on people? It's your boy Huncho, back at you again with another video. And so for this next one, we've got to head over to Liverpool. And for you guys who don't know, we are currently on a nationwide lockdown, which basically means you can only leave your house for a number of reasons, for things like shopping for basic necessities, going to work, going to the doctors and exercising, but not at the gym. There is other things that you can do, but you catch my drift in which direction the lockdown is going in. Now, with that being said, in the news we are seeing a lot of these stories pop up with people being handed fines for breaching lockdown rules, which include people like going to parties, and we've seen quite a lot of gym owners and people who are attending gyms being handed fines. Well, this next story that we're about to get into follows some recent arrests that have been made at Prophecy Performance Centre Gym in Liverpool. On the 7th of February 2021, police attended the gym following reports that it had been opened despite the current lockdown rules. Officers attended the property at around 1 PM and they observed people inside. They remained at the location to observe people coming and going from the gym, and it's believed multiple people were handed penalty notices. The fire escapes at the rear of the gym were also observed to have been locked, and so the police contacted Merseyside Fire and Rescue to investigate potential breaches of fire safety regulations. It was reported that while patrols were going on outside, a 34-year-old man became aggressive, started to swear at officers, and refused to cooperate when police engaged with him. A member of the public would also go on to phone the police and claimed that up to 50 people were being held against their will at the rear end of the gym in an effort to prevent them from being detected by police. It was then at around 7:05 PM, around 40 people attempted to leave the scene via the previously locked fire doors, with some driving away at speed. It's believed around this time more police had arrived at the scene. Several of those attempting to make off from the scene behaved aggressively towards officers, and police went on to detain a number of them. A 24-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of assaulting a police officer, and he's since been released under investigation. A 33-year-old woman and a 34-year-old man were arrested on suspicion of false imprisonment, and the woman has been released under investigation. That 34-year-old man was also arrested on suspicion of assaulting a police officer and on suspicion of careless and inconsiderate driving, and he has been released on conditional bail. A police spokesperson said that a total of 52 people were issued with fixed penalty notices for breaching COVID restrictions, and the gym has been issued with a closure notice by Liverpool City Council, and this is due to fire safety regulations being breached. So you might be asking yourself, well, what happened in the clip? Well, apparently the footage comes from the gym itself, and they've shared the footage after they've accused the police of being heavy-handed. But in response to this, the Merseyside police have doubled down on the force given, with Deputy Chief Constable Serena Kennedy saying, "At Merseyside Police, extensive training is given to officers around the importance of using force lawfully and proportionately, and thankfully, for the vast majority of interactions with the public, force isn't required. The decision to use force is never taken lightly, and in cases where it is appropriate, officers must often make quick, split-second judgments where there is a risk of harm. During this incident, the use of force was judged necessary by officers in response to people's behaviour. Officers should not be confronted with abuse and violence when attempting to uphold the law. which most people are rightly abiding by. So I just want to touch on what Merseyside police have said for a second, because they've gone on to say that split-second judgments are made when there's a risk of harm. But in that second clip, to me personally, I can't really see what harm that man would be doing when, for one, he's handcuffed and his hands are behind his back, and then the police officers are holding on to him and he's being held and escorted away by 6 or 7 police officers. So why would the police officer go out the way to then knee him either in the stomach or chest? That doesn't really make sense to me. But what do you guys think in this whole situation? Do you think that the police used reasonable force, or do you think they went above and beyond what's asked of them to enforce the law in this situation? I want to know your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. Give the video a little like, and if you want the latest drill, street and music news out of the UK, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your boy Huncho, and I'm out.